right, so tell us about your role in the film.
It's hard to talk about my role without spoiling. Yeah, if you've seen it. But I play a kind of femme fatale mechanic, as one does. I don't know if there's fans who've seen the movie Existence, the Willem Dafoe character, kind of mechanic is God. They're a duo, and there are these kind of sprites who just sort of go along following the narrative and then really make a big turn that audiences will have to pay attention for.
Was it just a standard audition, or how did you get involved with the movie?
I did audition. I mean, I know David like a little bit, and have worked with many of his Canadian colleagues, like Don McKellar and I go way back. He's in the movie, and I know Scott a little bit. So, yeah, I mean, David's really generous in that way with his Canadian actors. He likes to bring on a couple every movie, and this is my shot.
Awesome.
Yeah, thanks.
I haven't seen it and seeing it tonight, but who are your scenes primarily with?
They're mostly with Leia and Viggo. It's not bad.
That's awesome. Speak about working with both of them.
Oh, I mean, it's just incredible. I mean, I think what David is so good at is bringing a group of people together that will really get along and have the same kind of humor and the same outlook on cinema. And so just working next to them and beside them and just in total awe. They're generous, great humans, first and foremost. And yeah, they're pretty good at acting.
What do you admire about David as a writer and director?
Everything. I think David is one of the most original voices that we have in cinema and has been for the last, many, many decades. And I admire his bravery the most. I think he's unafraid to take chances, and that's so rare even in the film business these days. He doesn't care what people think, he just follows his own intuition.
So what was your way into finding or developing your character?
Well, just, reading the script over and over and over again. Getting it into my head, and then just working with my, acting coaches and all that kind of stuff, and talking to David a little bit, but, the normal stuff.
What was Cronenberg's process like for your actor direction?
He was very hands-off, as he always is. He's always hands-off, and he just kind of wants you to take it and run with it and have fun with it, and that's how it is.
What's your favorite moment in the film to watch?
For me, it's the first time I'm on screen with dialogue. Me and Viggo have a long walk and talk where it's one shot, and that's always a challenge and a fun challenge, but that's one of my favorite scenes in the movie.
Was there a particularly challenging day on set for you?
Every day for me is a bit challenging. No, it's all good, but no, not really. It was for all this intense kind of dark. People talk about this movie. It was a fun movie to shoot. So it wasn't that crazy.
What was key for finding your character?
Getting used to him being a more reactive character than I'm used to playing. I'm reacting to the problems I'm having with my body, to the environment, to the repression of the authorities, and to the desires of my partner. The love story at the center of it between Léa Seydoux' character and mine. Both of us at times have to sacrifice our individual artistic ambitions for the physical and mental well-being of our partner, and that's what any good relationship's about.
Speak about collaborating with David and what you admire about him.
Well, I've been beyond lucky. Most actors would like to work with him once, and I've had the pleasure of being directed by him 4 times, and I've been able to direct him too in my first movie as a director. So yeah, beyond all the work we do together, we're friends above all, and that's the thing I probably value the most.
What's your favorite moment in the film to watch?
There's a lot of them. There's a lot of beautiful images. I like it's shocking, but I like the whole opening sequence. I also like, we've been hearing some of it here. The score is beautiful. Howard Shore's music is so important to this movie, to setting a tone. I don't know. I don't know if I can pick one scene out. It's just as a collection, the way it flows is beautiful.
Was there a particularly challenging day on set for you?
There were quite a few. It was little things mostly. It was how to play a guy who's not at ease in his own body. His problems digesting food, breathing, can't sit still, he can't stand for very long without shifting his weight. There's something really wrong and he doesn't know what it is until very late in the story. And it was you have to show that by the way you change your voice and your body language. You don't want to do too much of that because it distracts from the rest of the scene and from what the other actors are doing. So I really trusted David to guide me and say, oh, no, that's good. Or that's a little too much there, a little more of that, and a little less here. And, we found our way. But, yeah, I guess that was the challenge.
So you've said in the past that you like to think about the narrative in your films from the virus's point of view. How does that play out in the crimes of the future, if it does at all?
Yeah, I don't think it does in this case. I don't think it's quite, that was a quote that was accurate for the movies that I was talking about then. It's not quite that way here. Although we do have the point of view of a performance artist who basically performed surgery on himself, so that's not quite a viral point of view, but it's an unusual point of view, let's put it that way.
What was the impetus to create the short film Crimes of the Future 1970, and what about it has stuck with you since you first came up with the idea? Right,
well, basically we just stole the title of that. That was a very low or no budget underground film that I made in 1970. We liked the title, and since it was my title, I felt free to steal it for this movie. In both cases, it's an accurate title because both movies deal with crimes of the future. But other than that, there's really no connection between the two.
What is your favorite practical effect from your films that still satisfies you, and what was the hardest part to execute?
That's really an impossible question to answer, because just everything that you're doing in the movie, when it works, is very satisfying. Even when you're shooting just a dialogue scene, there are some dialogue scenes that were incredibly satisfying, not involving special effects. I don't think of special effects as anything special. Basically, it's just another tool that you have in your toolbox, and you use that when you need to, and you don't when you don't. So I'm not obsessed with effects or anything like that at all. It's just another thing, just like lighting and costume and actors.
Thank you so much. Congratulations.
Thank you.
No, it was amazing. It was very different from what I've experienced. It was a new experience, and I think David has such a unique way of expressing himself. He created his own style, and I think he's more than a director, more than a filmmaker. He's also, to me, he's an artist, and he is a poet. And a real poet, and I think this is and the reason why I wanted to work with him, because it goes beyond filmmaking.